and welcome to another episode of the Double EP. I'm Kitty Kamenyecki, and today we would like to introduce you to James LeClaire. James is a Renfrew local who has been performing for 16 years. After experimenting in many different musical genres and releasing several EPs, he actually has quite a bit of experience in the music industry. Welcome to the Double EP, James. How are you doing today?
Thanks a lot for having me, Kitty.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Not a problem. It's good to have you on the show. So, I was saying that you've been performing and whatnot since you were 16. What really got you into performing, and what ignited your passion for music?
A friend told me it would get chicks. That kind of thing. Well, actually, yeah, a friend had acoustic guitar and electric, and go and spend weekends at his place sometimes hanging out. He was out of town, and he just tried to convince me, you got to start playing guitar. So he lent me one of his guitars that he had extra, taught me 2 chords, and I struggled and sweated through it and eventually mastered those 2 chords, and from then on it was just the love of music got injected into me. Yeah.
Now, I listened to some of your music. It sounds really awesome. It's got a very unique sound to it. It's very different than a lot of stuff that a lot of people hear on the radio and whatnot. What sort of a genre would you classify your music as?
Yeah, it's definitely not top 40. To say the genre, it depends. I do solo shows and I do full band shows, and my solo shows tend to sound different than my full band shows, obviously. But I'd put it's like this folk or like dirty country sound. And when I say country, I don't mean like the new country, because I'm not a fan of the new country. But it's that genre of storytelling, and like a lot of it's dark. When you listen to it, it's a lot of dark imagery and little fables that I tell. So it's definitely, the storytelling makes it folk country kind of thing.
That's awesome, cool. So now I understand you've dabbled in other genres and tried out different other types of music. You were in a punk band for a little while.
Yeah, a couple of them. That's when I first learned guitar. That's was kind of, I was heavy most of my life into skateboarding, snowboarding kind of thing, and that music was a huge influence on me then. And a lot of that music too is storytelling, and it just, from punk rock, when I eventually got out of punk rock and went more the solo thing, the same kind of storytelling just bled right into a new genre of music.
So, who would you say has influenced you over the years then, in terms of musical styles or sounds or whatnot?
Well, in the punk years, it was definitely Bad Religion, which was like this punk folk band, right? But growing up, I was totally influenced and listened to country music with my parents. That's what is the initial seed when you're young, is what your parents listen to, because that's your music source. And it was country, George Jones, Conway Twitty, Hank Williams, Johnny Cash. And as I got older, I still had that music with me, and that storytelling, like Chris Christopherson, later on Steve Earle, Townes Van Zandt, all these names that share that same kind of feeling towards the music. So that's the stuff I listen to now, and it heavily influences me for sure.
Great. So you're going to be performing for us. What are you singing? Sure. How did you come about this song?
This is a newer song, so it's not on my album that's available right now, but it will be on my album that hopefully I get out this summer. But it's called This Old Body, and it's kind of watching my parents as they've gotten older, and my dad, who's always such a go-getter, hard worker kind of guy, and he still is, but there's limitations now with as his age progresses. So this one it's not a depressing song, actually. It's kind of a celebration, looking back on all that your body has given you throughout the years.
Okay, great. So why don't we watch that clip now, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Sure.
This old body's seen better days. Years of living have left it gray. There was a time that it stood so strong and straight. This old body's seen better days. These old hands all cracked and dry from working hard their whole my family, they did provide. These old hands all cracked and dry. These old knees, they throb and ache from nights of dancing and Sunday's praise. There was a time they easily bear the weight. These old knees, they throb and they ache. Somebody has served me well, like the chapters in a book, it's got a story to tell. As the pages are torn, Lord, that cover is frayed. Somebody has seen better days. Somebody has seen better days. These old legs, they've carried me down an unbeaten path only I could see. But now they tremble and they're weak. These old legs have carried me. These old eyes, all the sights they've seen. Mountains tall and valleys deep, prairies wide and coastal seas. These old eyes and the sights that they've seen. This one heart has only had one love. She's already left me for the heavens above. She said she'd wait on glory shores until my time comes. This old heart's only had one love. This old body has served me well, like the chapters in a book, it's got a story to tell. But the pages are worn, Lord, that cover is frayed. This old body has seen better days. This old body has seen better days. This old body has seen better days.
Wow, that was great. That was really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, great. So you have several albums out. Where can people find your stuff? Where can people buy your music?
If you do jamesleclaire.com, there's links there with CD Baby. You can search on iTunes. If locally, you can go to the Compact Music stores on Bank and CD Warehouses. They have all CD Warehouse locations as well. Have them. Or you can come to my shows, which would be even better. You can get the live taste and then buy the album there.
Cool.
As well.
So when's your next show coming up, or when maybe your next couple of shows?
Yeah. 2 of them had been canceled in February,
Oh, no.
which I had planned to promote for different reasons. Next up is March 15th at the Lunenburg Pub
Okay.
in Ottawa with Lefty McWrighty. And then the next one after that is April 25th in Renfrew, Ontario at the Crown and Kilt Pub.
Awesome. And so I'm assuming, if people go to your website, you're going to have a listing of
It's
where you're
all
going to be.
listed there,
and-
yeah. So there could be more shows between those times.
Of course.
So if you go to the site, yeah, you can definitely get the latest.
That's awesome. And what are your plans for the future? What sort of new things are you bringing into your repertoire, maybe, or where do you plan to go with this?
Well, I mean, it's definitely my passion is music. I have another career that helps pay the bills.
As do we all.
Yeah, exactly. But this is definitely my passion. The next one is to put out, which will be my 3rd album. First album was very low budgeted. Second album was a step up, full band. third album is going to be more highly produced and definitely more airplay friendly. So that's my next big goal, and to see where that takes me. Hopefully I can be a part of Ottawa Folk Festival this year, that kind of
Cool.
thing, the Blues Fest, which can really help kickstart everything.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
yeah, fingers crossed for that.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming to the show today, and I really enjoyed having you here. And
Thanks so much for having me.
yeah,
It was
and
a
hopefully
pleasure.
we'll hear more from you in the future. If you ever have any shows coming up that you want to promote or whatever, just come on in and we'll promote you.
Awesome, that'd be great. Thanks a lot, Kitty.
Awesome, thanks. And that's it for the Double EP today. I'm Kitty Kameniecki, and join us next time.
And again, well, I proved to myself that I can live without most anything. But when I'm asked the one thing I cannot, I said, baby, I need what you've got. I said, baby, I need what you've got.